Hello, we're back, I think. Hello, you're all here with me, or some of you are, which is good enough for me. So I don't know how far we got into Triumph before we went down, so I'll rewind it back just so the last minute and a bit can play, and then we'll get into the Fleetwood Mac. Woohoo! So it looks like we've got Mozart, Evan David, Tracy and Nicole all back in. So, since I've shut down the previous stream, I can't see what the last few messages were. So basically, everybody who's in here, if you want to, drop us another song in the chat, and we'll have time to get through them all. Because I mean, I don't intend to stay on super long from this point on, but we can do another 7 or 8 songs, something like that. So, yeah. What's your Tracy? What's that now? I'll have it in a moment. That's as good a reason as anybody needs, Nicole. Yeah, see, Evan David saying Rhiannon's a pretty common name in this neck of the woods. For those who are watching and don't know who Evan David is, he's an amazing Welshman. So, yeah, for the rest of us, it's a highly exotic and wonderful name. I have met one Rhiannon, but she was named after the song. I've also met quite a few Kayleys in my life, some of whom were also named after the song, but didn't know the song. Shocking. Yeah, so just running a quick poll to see which amongst you have managed to vote on my community polls. So I'll talk about why I'm saying that when we get to Tracy's choice, which is coming up very shortly indeed. Don't know what was thinking that. Right, we didn't choose Takedo Wings. I don't know why, because we went for Fleetwood Mac. That's why, and that was a fine choice. Thank you, community. But yes, Tracy is wishing us all good times to 2025 with In Excess and Jimmy Barnes. So, so most of you, it looks like, who are in here at least, have seen my polls and voted for, well, something at some point. But I'm only mentioning this because my first poll for the year, I've just recorded the video for it yesterday, and I had to wait a day because it got tied between Crowded House and In Excess, so I had to wait for somebody to break the tie, which they did. So on Monday you'll have a video up for In Excess. You can look forward to that. Yeah, I'm planning to I mean, most of the time I'm still just going to do stuff because I want to, but certainly when I'm looking at these songs that hit number 25, I've got a huge list of them this year, so I'm going to be throwing up quite a few polls for those for you lot to help me decide on, and some other things along the way too, depending on things. So keep a close eye out for them and vote whenever you can. Yeah, Nicole, it was so obvious that Don't Dream It's Over was going to win that I had all the research done, military level, and I thought, maybe I'll just do Crowded House anyway because I'm ready for it, but then In Excess pulled ahead. So if you're going to ask the people for their opinion, you've got to respect their choice. So I enjoyed that too. That's New Sensation, which annoyingly I watched the music video for, and I did actually do, because I've been burnt before, I did a test where I uploaded a chunk of the music video on its own to YouTube to see if it would get blocked, and it didn't. But as soon as I record the video, I get a notification saying it's been blocked in the US and Canada, where of course it was a huge hit. And about 50% of my audience watches from those countries, so I had to kind of do a strange workaround, which is dissatisfying for everybody, but hopefully it will work. Oh, Kaylee's one of your middle names. Your mum's mum was called Kay, which Dennis said she didn't like, so mum made it Kaylee instead of Kay. Well, that spelling wouldn't exist until the Marillion song. So you are named after a Marillion song, whether you do it or not. Yeah, but Nicole, out of those four choices, some people did vote for Kokomo. I was astounded. I thought that would be a null votes kind of situation. All right, thank you, Tracy, for that. I think we have been having good times already this year, and I don't just mean. Okay, yeah, I do just mean in this chat and this stream. If I don't pick myself up, who else is gonna? All right, we'll be moving to Evan David's Rolling Stones choice shortly, but first, not that one, not that one. My choices are Not Tonight from Jimmy Jameson, Learn How to Fall from Paul Simon, and Do Things My Way from Styx. Well, we've already had a Paul Simon tune. That was 2011 Simon versus 1973. But let's have some Styx, because this is 2003 Styx, post Dennis DeYoung, the first album they made without him. Now, I mention this because I have a mate who, whenever he sees me and we bring up music, he's always like, oh yeah, you and fucking Styx. Because one day when we worked on a music video together, Styx were playing in London and I was going to the gig that night. Now I like Styx, but I don't love them. They're not in my top 50 bands, I wouldn't say. But yeah, he's absolutely obsessed with me loving Styx. Everybody else knows Marillion, Toto, Magnum, if they can remember who they are. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because it amuses me. So Alfred, this is for you. It's fucking Styx with Do Things My Way. I don't know, Sean. Multitasking is unacceptable. Do I ever walk away from one of your streams to record a video? No, I don't. I mean, sometimes I walk away so I can sleep, but... Evan David Styx was Mr. Roboto, but that is not one that you should think of them by. And Sean, since you have deigned to return, do chuck us another song, and we'll get one more in for you. Unless you have to duck off and record a full album reaction, or anything. If you do, go for it. Because I know you're trying to catch up on as much stuff before you get mentally busy with all the other stuff going on in your life, so we get it. Most City's got this album, but it's really played it. I like this one for the most part, It's a bit of an odd mix, but Tommy's songs are great. I like Lawrence a lot. Not that big on JY's song, and I don't particularly like the Glenn Burtnick stuff on it. But on balance, pretty strong. Well, I'm not planning to stick around all night here, Sean, so... Oh, okay. I was about to throw the best of times on for your song choice there, Sean, but, which I will do unless you give me another one. So, that's your challenge. Well, that's a fine choice as well, Sean. We could definitely have them. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a different version to the one you've already heard. How's that? Spoiler alert, we might very well be getting to that song. I don't know what the other options are, but right now, Evan David suggests that I don't think this has much to do with 2025. Maybe it does. Before They Make Me Run. It takes a lot to make people make me run. Basically, they have to pay me, then I'll do it. As anyone who's seen the L'Objectif video would know. I'll throw the best of times in there as well. We might use that as our final song for the night, perhaps. When the time comes, of course. Ben Davis says, I went to my favourite music shop, Club Records, in Port Maddox yesterday. Look at me tiring out the Welsh. Amongst other things, picked up a bunch of Bon Jovi albums in advance of potentially doing a top 10 for ITTC soon. Well, that would be interesting. I can't say I've ever listened to a Bon Jovi album in my life. And Bryce was saying this is Keith Richards on this. The lead vocal for this comes from Some Girls, which featured the mega hit Miss You and was the first album to have full participation from Ronnie Wood. I see. So Some Girls made Evan David's number 25 spot on his recent top 50 albums list. Hence, it fitting the 25 thing that way. But good. And Bostar, if you're trolling me and trying to get me to pronounce the name of that railway, it's not worked, because I'm not going to read that out at all. All right. Thank you to Evan David for not only bringing us that, but for actually being somebody who is organised enough to have done his top 50 list for RTTC. Not something I feel like I'm capable of achieving, but you never know. And back over on my list, you saw it previewed before. Spoiler alert, I'm going to come back to this in a second. But my other options were 411 from Unruly Child and Nightmare from the Richie Zito project. But we are going to go for a little 2-minute wonder. Needles and Pins from The Searchers. And after this we shall have a tragic time, courtesy of Nicole. Evan David, you can request Welsh language songs all you like. I will mysteriously not notice them and fail to add them to the the list. It's just one of those things, I'm blind to certain languages. And I see you're going to do status quo top 10 at last. I know you've been threatening that for a long time. Once the Ramones album series is done. How many Ramones albums are you doing? Because there's a lot of Ramones albums you could do. I remember hearing this song when I was 8 years old, flying across America on Continental Airlines, and they had a radio program on repeat, as they did in those days, about the British invasion. And it's the first time I heard this, or She's Not There by the Zombies, Hippie Hippie Shake, Swinging Blue Jeans, and stuff I knew, like You Really Got Me from the Kinks and Bus Stop from the Hollies. It was a great program. Obviously I remember it 35 years later. Alrighty. Thank you to me for selecting that little banger. And thank you to Tracy for giving us some Bee Gees action. For those who didn't see earlier, this is the one song that Nicole has played 25 times via Apple Music before she became a modern person and just started streaming things like most normal people do, but not me. We'll start noting that lead guitarist Alan Kendall was really on fire in this track. And okay, so you're doing the first 5 Ramones with a cover of that particular Searchers classic on the one you're writing up now. I haven't checked out any of the Ramones reactions yet. I mean to get round to them, but you know how it is. Some of these channels pump out way too much material for a normal person to be able to keep on top of. I mean, it's bad enough the ones who only post Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays and an occasional Saturday night stream. Throw a ending the poll there. So most of you have voted in polls on my channel, it seems, but keep doing so, and those who haven't already, look out for whenever the next one is and vote on that. But right now I'm going to give you another poll for the next act from my little list. Oops, not it. What am I doing? Like that. Start a poll. So we have got, yes, now all of these are well-known acts, but the songs are not particularly well-known, so I can tell you that Steely Dan is Kings, John Denver is Readjustment Blues, and Genesis is Since I Lost You. If that helps you vote, hurrah! So both start saying this is one of 2 Bee Gees tracks to hit the top in both the UK and the US, along with Night Fever, as did Barbra Streisand's Woman in Love, written and produced by Gibbs, and the only Gibb composition to be a UK #1 for 2 different artists, as Steps had their #1 version in '98, which Nicole has belatedly realised was the first version she heard. I know you can't help when you're born, but still. I'm actually shocked that nobody's voted for Steely Dan, Sean. But what people have swiftly voted for is a song I've long had on my very long list of songs to bring to you, so it's honestly probably a better song to have on a listen properly with headphones and lyrics than listen on a live stream. But that's not what we're doing. We're hearing it right now. It is John Denver, Readjustment Blues, which is actually written by Bill Danoff, who co-wrote Take Me Home Country Roads with him, and also wrote Afternoon Delight for the Starland Vocal Band. I had to pay my dues across the sea. So this is about a Vietnam vet coming back into the States after returning from a tour of duty. And readjusting. It's quite a tale. This is from his 1971 album, Eerie, which I think is one of his finest, but isn't a very well-known album in his discography. Let's buy some cigars and keep it quiet. If they don't know we're here, we'll get away. Just as I had realized he was joking, I saw we were in Washington. Not to bring up my man JT too often, but it strikes me that James Taylor, being one of the finest singer-songwriters of all time, wrote nearly every song on his albums and just did the odd cover. But so many of those covers became his biggest hits, whereas John didn't write that many of his own songs, but nearly every song that he had a hit with were his own. I just think that's an interesting little crossover thing between them. And of course, John Denver, James Taylor, Gordon Lightfoot and Harry Chapin all performed together in a benefit concert in 1977. So when I get my time machine, I'm going back to that night.
I saw a girl, she could have been my sister, except her hair was long.
Bo-Start, you and Sean would get on so well with my mum, calling JT the Yawnmeister. I really ought to ban you from the channel for that, but I won't, because I need you. So, Bostad, do you think the Bee Gees revival was a direct result of the ABBA revival? Because they were both in a similar situation where they were joke bands to all the hipsters. And then suddenly everybody actually started feeling that they were able to say, oh, you know, actually, we really quite like them. Is that okay? And it was. Which is why, if I like something, such as James Taylor, even if everybody else is telling me it's rubbish, I don't listen to them because I know that I'm right.
They carried guns just like the ones across the sea. Except this time I was the citizen and they was pointing their guns at me. Yes, I was just a
Evan David's point would be excellent if only he had used the correct name. John Denver gets out on the Muppets while Don Taylor, whoever he is, gets out on The Simpsons.
Got through to me.
All right. A non-original, but a great John Denver song in my book. And now we return for the penultimate time, I believe, to Spotify. And we unmute it.
Some bands have got the lyrics, some bands have got the tunes, some bands have got the spirit, and some bands have got
So this
the
is
moves.
Tony Walsh
Some bands have got
introducing
desire,
a song
and
that
some
Sean
bands
only
have
heard for the
got
first
the
time
look. Some bands can start a fire,
last
and
night
some bands
because
are
of me.
cool as fuck. Some bands can blow the roof off, and some bands show love and pride, and some bands just know the truth of all our joy and pain inside. Some bands have got the passion, and some bands have got the balls. Some bands have songs that matter when you're stuck here with fuck all. Some bands, the riffs, the singing plus the bass, the drums creates believers, leave us ringing with our arms around our mates. Some bands can tell a story to unite and energize, and when some bands sing their glory just brings teardrops to our eyes. Some bands can stand together as a band but stand apart. Some bands will live forever in our broken, hopeful hearts. Most bands would give their all for this. Few bands can just amaze. One band has just got all of this. That band is the fucking Caves.
I know I can't get much closer today. I know I'm burning, but I need an escape.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that that intro works for me, but some people love it. It's not the album version that Sean listened to. I like the intent of it, but yeah. No. Oh, you were mentioning that Kaylee was a middle name of yours. I thought I had in my brain that Emma was a name associated with you. I'm asking this for a reason, so let me know. Tony Walsh apparently did that intro live at one of their gigs and people didn't know who he was and kind of ignored him, so it didn't quite work for Sean, but never mind. So this is my husband's favourite album from 2024. Almost there for me as well. And they have album number 2 coming out in June. So expect to hear a lot more K's on this channel, on that other channel this year. Yes, I thought so, Nicole. Thank you. Cool. And of course the song did actually come up on my Best of 2024 stream, which is still available to watch on replay. Not necessarily straight after this, but at any time in your life that you care to catch up on it. Okay, so the reason I was asking Nicole about her middle names is because my final choice of the night is between Paperback Writer by the Beatles, and I'm still not going to choose the Beatles because it would mean it doesn't. I mean, it's not going to block us in time to go down now, but it would mean that the stream would get rogered on folks trying to watch it on the replay. Taiketo, Here's Hoping It Hurts, or Little River Band, Emma. So this is for Nicole from their debut from 1975. Just catching up on some of the stuff in the chat. Going back to the Bee Gees post, I was saying they went back to having a hit per album pretty quickly from their comeback, which is true. Although it was up and down in the States. Yeah. The Bee Gees chart history is fascinating, really. And Sean noting that JT's 50 plus years of success point to the fact that I'm right and everyone else is wrong. Great. And that's Tracy's daughter's name, Emma. Well, at some point, gang, I'm going to do a girl name night as a theme, but we've already used up all the names of people that we know, so we'll have to come up with different ones. And yeah, as post up notes, number 20 hit Down Under. This one wasn't released as a single in the States. They went for It's a Long Way There instead, which did make the top 30 there. Ooh. I feel like I can think of another Dave song along the way, Evan David. There's quite a few Joe songs, so I'm alright. Tracy was named for Tracy by the Cufflinks. I'm guessing that's a really old song because reasons. Okay, so before we finish up with the best of times by Styx for Sean and for everybody to have the best of times for the whole year, just looking through the lists, artists we didn't hear from that we might have done if it shuffled in a different order. We've got Neil Diamond, Stephen Wilson, Uriah Heep, Barclay James Harvest, Boz Scaggs, Free, Dave Mason, Alan Parsons, Journey, Steely Dan again, Chicago, the Guess Who. So yeah, we could have gone all night long, but we're not going to. We are coming right back this way. Yeah, for that song that's already playing, but we're starting it from the start. Because tonight is the night where we'll make history, or we have made history, or something.
Tonight's the night we'll make history. Honey, you and
And all going well, I will be back same time next week. Because my All Marillion stream was such a great success, even if I do say so myself. Next week I will be doing an All Magnum stream because it's, sadly, 1 year since we lost Tony Clarkin. It's also a couple of weeks before the Tribute to Tony tour kicks off. It's only a 5-day tour, so it's not a huge one like they would normally do if they had a new album out. So yeah, that should be fun. Again, it's 23 albums to pull from, so we're only going to scratch the surface, but I'll be trying to pull from all the different areas and in random fashion, as is my way, of course. But yeah, I hope you can join me for that, and I know some of you have been indoctrinated into the world of Magnum to a slight degree because of me, but we can get you in deeper. Tracy's birthday in a couple of weeks, and she's a 1970 baby. Well, I'm a 1980 baby, so it's not that far off. I'll start saying this, of course, made number 3 in the US in 81, with John Lennon's Woman and REO Speedwagon's Keep On Loving You at the top, and came from Paradise Theatre, as Sean said, one of the first 4 albums ever bought by Mr. Sean Holmes. Was a UK top 10 album despite the singles not making the top 40 here, but of course was their only US number 1 album. Mainly because Sean bought it. I'm sure that's the reason. Well, you novices were really useful in the Marillion stream, so I'm sure you'll do the same for me if you're around. I can't force you to be there, but I hope to see you and hope to entertain you. And have you in there to ask questions I wouldn't think of because I know them so well. I'll hopefully have some die-hard Magnum fans join us for that, but you never know who's going to be enticed into the world of a live stream, so we shall see.
I feel so helpless, like a boat against the tide.
Evan David generally doesn't play on many, but there is one song for sure that will be on the list to be played, which he is featured heavily on, so I can't promise nothing, but fair chance. My pleasure, both start. Thanks for joining me. It was I mean, honestly, if none of you lot turned up, I could just sit here going through my list and listening, and maybe somebody would watch it afterwards. But it's a lot more fun with you involved and in the chat and throwing songs in with me. So thank you all for hanging out on a Saturday night or Sunday morning if you're a lady. Oh, I'm a lady. I watch live streams on a Sunday. Yes, I'm an idiot. What can I tell you? But yeah, that is it for tonight. Thank you again all for
I just
being in.
MailChimped my
Oh,
marketing.
You
shut
MailChimped
up, Spotify, with your stupid ads. That just because I'm not going to pay you any money. Yeah. So yeah, Bosta, Tracy, Nicole, Sean, somebody I'm forgetting. If I didn't say your name, say it for yourself. And people who were in before, we had Ohio was in, and other people who've popped in along the way, whether they said hello or not. They were here. I saw them. So yeah, as I said, coming up this week on the channel, we've got NXS on Monday. We've got something exciting on Wednesday that I've forgotten. And we've got Little River Band on Friday. So, a 2/3 Australian week. And coming on Wednesday. It is. They're not Australian, I know that much. Anyway, come to the channel and watch them all and you'll find out. And then, yeah, hopefully all going well, Saturday night we'll be back for Magnum. So I shall see you there. And of course, it is simply bye for now, but not for long.